Welcome. Welcome to a writing vlog, and also my favorite week of the year because it is Halloween week. And not only is it Halloween week, it's also the week that rolls into my favorite month of the year, which is November. November doesn't get enough love, I feel like, but November is my favorite month. It is cold. The leaves are still very gorgeous, but they are slowly fading away to sticks. And we have the potential to get our very first snowfall, which I'm just so excited for. I feel like last winter was very sad. We did not get nearly enough snow. We're finally getting into my season, so I really have no complaints. It is currently Sunday, which means that it is my Monday because I start work today. And today is actually a long day for me. I start work at 12:30 and I work till 8:30, which means that I don't get home until 9:30. I've just been writing and I'm going to continue to write, and we're going to write together, and we're going to write this whole week together. I don't know what the word count is going to look like because I actually have a lot of research that I want to do and some scene planning, but I plan to work on it every single day as per usual. Yesterday I just had the coziest day with my new bed because I got a new bedspread and some new sheets and some new pillows, and I just sat and I read all day yesterday. I'm currently reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I also just finished All Quiet on the Western Front. Two books that I'm absolutely adoring. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I'm just over halfway now, and I'm really taking my time with it. I love the writing. The story is very slow, but like in a good way. I'm enjoying the pace of it. I'm really curious to see what happens because I don't think it's going to be very happy. So I'm reading that this week, doing a lot of writing, doing all the things. But let's rewind a little bit to yesterday, and I'll show you some cozy clips. I have two things that I could do this week. One is I could do some research and I could come up with some scene ideas in terms of like the nitty-gritty historical side of the story. Or I could just power through and keep writing the plot and fill all of those other things out later. I have a feeling I'm going to end up doing a combination of both because I can keep writing without stopping and doing research. And so I think that that's a good thing to do if you're able to do that. Really, all I need to do is just do a little bit of review of the research that I've already done and pull out some ideas from that research. So I feel like I can do that at any point. It's not really super important. So I think going forward and just powering through and writing the plot is probably more important for this draft. All of the extra stuff can be filled out at a later point. Great. Good talk.
I wanna run away, but not like buy a ticket. Or travel miles on a plane, wanna go somewhere further. But I'm done with outer space, controlled by retrograde. I've got too much on my plate. My stomach's full, but I still crave. 'Cause I wanna be alone. Don't leave a message at the door. Rebuild my home. 'Cause I wanna be alone. Whispers in the trees, blowing past the skyline. There's a world I just might like behind.
Look at this. Look at this
Pull the
outfit.
wall over my eyes. In the darkness.
Okay, I'm running really, really late today, so I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes and I'm gonna write because that's about all I have until I have to leave. So let's get to it. Let's write. I'm not gonna chitty chat too much. Writing is going really well. I'm averaging like 2,000 words a day. Very, very happy about that. And I keep doing this thing where every single day I sit down and convince myself that I can't write because I have to do a bunch of research, and then 2,000 words just show up. So I'm going to stop overthinking it. If I feel like I want to do some research, I will do some research, but I will not try to stop myself from writing. Let's get to it. You see my laundry hanging in the background? I just spent the morning reading and now I'm gonna go to the library to do some writing with a friend. I don't know if I'm gonna do writing today or if I'm going to do some research because I found a really, really cool resource from like 1919 and I wanna read through it. So I don't know, today might be a research day, it might be a writing day. We'll see where the creative flow takes me. I'm still trekking along. Like I'm at like 15K in this manuscript and it's feeling really good. It's feeling like a really good solid project. I really like integrating my research with my writing as opposed to doing a ton of research and then starting the project, because I find that integrating my research allows, first of all, the information to be more fresh in my mind, but second of all, it often sparks inspiration for me. So when I read something, I'm thinking about it, it's there, the feelings are there, and translating it to my story is so much easier the fresher it is. Hopefully that makes sense, but I find doing a lot of research up front also stalls my writing in a way that I don't like it. So with this book, I'm definitely integrating my research into the process, which means that some days will not have high word counts, and that's totally fine because I'm not really in a rush. I'm not like setting a specific deadline to get this book done. So it's a super gray fall day and I am living for it. This weather is perfect and I just can't wait to go get cozy somewhere. I'm literally wearing sweats. Like I'm not getting fancy. No. I'm going to be comfortable, but tree. Actually, look at all these trees. So beautiful. Okay, let's go right.
They say get rich so I can buy all that I want, but I've got all the smiles that I need. They say get famous so everyone will know me, but that sounds like a movie I don't want to see. They say get smart so I can solve any problem, as if they'll all go away. They say go hard, but I'm a softie deep inside, and I don't feel like hiding anymore. They say be nice, but I'd rather be kind and be there for those who are in need. They say you gotta think twice. Maybe we should think a little more about how we treat the world that we call home. They say settle down, but I ain't one for settling, so I'll just keep on chasing my dreams. They say grow up, as if it's a given, but I ain't taking those pills anymore. No. Ooh, got a joy that's overflowing. They say don't give it away, but I'll do it anyway.
Hello, good morning, my friends. Let me move you up a little bit. I am checking in with a little writing/reading update because it's been a while since I've talked about books on this channel, and I think it's because I haven't really been in the biggest reading mood, even though I have been reading a lot. I just feel like, I don't know, there's something about the second half of summer. I just really struggled to find like any good books, but I'm reading. I have fun reading updates, but first and foremost, let's talk about writing because I went to the library to write with my friend, and I basically spent the entire time doing research. Actually, I was telling you that I found this really great resource, and I was going through it, and it was just so amazing. Like it's such an amazing resource, and I think I'm gonna spend the rest of the week slowly going through it whenever I have time. But for now, this morning, I woke up and I started writing a scene, and I'm about 700 words into it, and I still have about an hour left to go before I have to leave for work. So I'm gonna keep going and we will see how many words I can get through. As for reading updates, I never actually said this, but I finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and I loved this book. Schwab has been a author that I discovered this year that I have fallen for so hard. I can't believe it has taken me this long to read her work. I can't believe it has taken me this long to read her writing. I'm so happy that I have discovered her because it means that I have so many books that I get to read from her. I just bought all 3 books of the Darker Shade trilogy because I read the first one in the summer, but I want to keep reading it So that's next on my list. I'm going to read through that trilogy, and then I'm going to read through the Vicious book. Like, I'm just so excited, and it's such a joy to discover a new author whose writing you really, really like. In terms of this book and my thoughts on it, I loved it. I thought it was a very, very, very solid story. Loved the writing. I loved the character of Addie LaRue. I loved the themes explored on this. In fact, it's probably my favorite book that tackles the theme of immortality and love. I thought that the writing was really rich, and I thought that there was really poignant moments. And my God, the ending... I was struggling so hard because I was at work finishing it, which do not do that. Like, don't do that. Do not read this when you are around people that you are not comfortable sobbing around, because I was fighting it. I was fighting it so hard. Ooh, it was so good. It was just chef's kiss perfection, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm currently reading Starling House by Alex E. Harrow because it is still spooky season for me. It's always spooky season, but I love reading spooky books into November. I feel like November is such a good month for that. And this book, so far so good. I am just over halfway, and it is really picking up. This book follows a young woman who lives in a small town in Kentucky, and in that town there is this house called the Starling House that has a lot of myths and lore wrapped up in it. And she basically gets a job working there, and I'm really, really enjoying this. It has one of my favorite things, which is like a sentient house, and the plot is also unraveling at a really, really satisfying pace. Whenever I find myself wondering what's next, something happens and it just builds and builds, and I've gotten over the halfway mark, and I didn't want to stop reading it last night, which is the first time in a really long time I felt that way about a story. I just think that this book is really engrossing. I kind of can't wait to see what happens next. It also has this really interesting theme that I love, and I haven't actually seen it. I might not be articulating it that well, because I might articulate it and you might be like, that isn't a lot of books. But there's this theme of like storytelling and lore and rumors, and how we can all have different history. We can all have a different narrative about a history. And I thought that that was really, really well done here. Particularly the way that we find out about the history of Starling House throughout the book, I just find really, really fascinating and really well done. So that's my reading update. That's my writing update. I am going to pour myself another cup of coffee and keep on trucking. I think I might actually sit in my bed